free run. So thank you so much. Hello everyone. Okay, so we are ready with the next run, the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. This is a game that a lot of people didn't really notice until the sequel came out, but it's really cool looking. It's very cute, so it is gonna be nice to see. And take it away, Mash.
Hi there. So this is The Liar Princess and The Blind Prince. It is a very adorable game. So we're gonna go ahead and start a new game, because we're gonna beat the game. So as soon as I hit confirm here on the auto override for the save, the run will begin. We got about 2.5 minutes worth of text smashing to get through some of the cutscenes. And about 20 minutes worth of that throughout the entirety of the run. But this run will go fast, and let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty, so we have an adorable game about a princess and a blind prince. We'll get more into the story about that. But for now, we have a wolf who's singing into the moon. And I'll tell you what, this game has lots of hand-holding. So I hope you enjoy adorable hand-holding, because that is what this game is known for. So a couple quick things about this game. It is a game from Nippon Ichi. It was created by Sayaka Oda back in 2018. She was a web designer before she started working at Nippon Ichi, and she was granted full treatment for this title when she was hired on with the company. And all of this game is done with her artwork and animation, which is fantastic. And then that led into another game that I'm working on called The Cruel King and the Great Hero, which instead of an action platformer puzzle game like this one, it is a turn-based style RPG, which is really, really cool. So anyways, the wolf blinded the prince, he fell to the ground. So that is how the prince goes blind, and then the wolf runs away. But we haven't seen the princess yet. And I'll tell you one thing, this game's got adorable and amazing music. So, after the princes get blinded, Wolf's gonna go visit him. And, yeah, we control the wolf. So, I hope you know what's gonna go on. But anyways, we're gonna run by this area here. Run by these guards. Not gonna bother attacking them. The game's gonna teach us things as we go. We're gonna ignore most of it. This guard up here we're going to kill to get a key to open the door. And that is going to allow us to go and visit the prince here. So, we feel bad as the wolf for blinding the prince, so we came to go check up on him. But since he's blinded, his family doesn't really, you know, they feel ashamed, so they locked him away. I don't know why anybody would do that to their own child, but, I mean, it's terribly sad. So the wolf wants to free him. But the wolf doesn't want to scare him. Alright, so we got another about 2.5 minutes worth of mashing at this point. Until about 5 minutes in, then we get full control, and then the game really starts going. So I hope you just enjoy the music. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. But anyways, we're visiting this witch. She's gonna let us, make a trade. Now, the estimate I know is 145. That's pretty high. A decent run will be under 130 for sure. And that's what my goal is. The one thing to know about this entirety of the run is a single death in the run, unless it's a planned death, could cost a minute to 5 minutes each. So that's a pretty big gap, and that's mostly due to with how the checkpoints work. So there's only a couple cases in the run where I'll actually take a forced death. Alright, so we're gonna transform, go see the prince. Oh look, we're a princess now. So we gotta break the gate open here. There we go. Turn back in the prince and hold his hand. Done. Alright, we finished the prologue. Oh, sorry, I lied. We have to get him out of here, then we finish the prologue. There's gonna be a lot of hand-holding in this game. It's like one of the main mechanics. Alright, so, first actual stage of the game. We're gonna guide the prince along the way by holding his hand, because he doesn't know where he's going. So, we have a jump button, we have a transform button, we have an attack button. Which is the same button you use to hold hands, but only if you're a wolf. We're gonna avoid these raccoons. Yes, they're raccoons. Anytime we or the prince takes damage in our human form, we will just die. So if I go into the wolf form, I'm basically invincible, mostly. But as a human, I'm very much at risk of dying from one hit from anything. So, yeah. It's not a raccoon bug, it's straight up just a raccoon. You will see them in the other games as well. Like, it seems like a lot of the story, like a lot of the enemy design and stuff like that is persistent between this game and the Cruel King and the Great Hero as well. But anyways, jump over these raccoons, hope they don't bite the prince. We're gonna lead them over here. But as I said, this is a platformer. So as a wolf, I'm heavier and I can jump higher. Not only can I attack, but that's a key thing to note here, is that I am much heavier and can jump much higher. As well as I can move faster in wolf form too, but I can't carry the prince's hand like that, so we're gonna keep on moving. So far, so good. So, solving puzzles. Like I said, this is a bit of a puzzle platformer. A little bit of action here and there, but, I mean, definitely more of a platformer game than anything. Alright, so second part here. We have a bit of a cutscene here. Raccoon tries to attack the prince. And this game is fully voice acted, but it like narrated, but it's all in Japanese. There is no English for it, unfortunately. But at least they did a nice job translating it. Alright. Yes, very angry raccoons. So the prince won't move at this point, so for the first time in the game, we learn about giving flowers, which is another part of the game's mechanics. Sort of like a little bit of an extra thing. So as you give flowers to the prince, it increases your bond or your friendship. So later in the run, after I give him a couple more flowers, some other new things will become available to us. But that's only at, like, story progression points. But there is optional flowers you can give him. Anyways, we gotta wait for this raccoon to turn around and then kind of follow behind it. I've died several times here from this raccoon. We're gonna jump over him. Make sure that we don't get hit by anything. Okay, we made a good cycle. I think one of the things that'll kill us the most in this run is going to be missing cycles or misjudging when we can get by an enemy or not. Alright, perfect. So anytime I see two boards like that, you know that you need at least the weight of 3 people to break them. Anytime you see a one board like what we're about to walk across right here, we're going to use these turtles, that's what the game refers to them as, to get across. And they allow us to get across this beam here that'll break if we step on it. I don't know how the physics work with that, but that's just how the game tells us to do it. So another section here, we get ambushed by some coons, but we're just going to jump over them. Alright, through that. So there's like several areas of this game. These are the easy areas right now for this like whole section. Now we learn about giving the prince commands. So we're going to tell him to go across so that we don't break this by walking with him. We're gonna lower this and raise it a bit. Get him up here, jump up there. That was close. Jump there. Alright, we made some pretty good cycles. I wasn't sure if we were gonna make that, but we got through without dying, so that's good. Pull this croon over here, jump. Put that. Jump. Alright, cool. Made by that. Alright, I'm a little nervous about some of this stuff because going fast... No! Alright, well, I'm sorry. I forgot that coon shows up. Alright, we got an achievement. Okay, cool. Whatever. Alright, anyways, we'll take care of this coon so that doesn't happen again. Whoops. That's not that bad. Okay. The coon problem has been solved. Thankfully, the checkpoint's right there, so it's not really a time loss. So that's good. Plenty of time saves along the way, because there's a little bit of RNG throughout the run. Nothing super crazy like I initially had thought. Which is nice. Alright, I gotta stay wolf form or else the drop could kill me. So one of the things that can kill you a lot in this game, besides the enemies, would be actually fall damage, which... Hopefully, the physics and the prince cooperate. We won't really see too much of the fall damage deaths unless I actually plan for them. But we're trying to keep our lovely prince safe. Oh no! Oh, that was good. I was like confused for a second that the platform wasn't there. Alright, so we're gonna do a little mean thing here, but we're gonna throw the prince off. He's gonna land on that button. That'll allow us to get up here. I mean, don't worry, he's safe. And that'll allow us to get to him from the other side. Alright, Wind Chaser. So, yeah, there is speedrunning trophies for this game, funny enough. So, That is one of them. I mean, the visuals do a good job in this game. Even if you didn't understand what they were saying, I think you could understand from the art. But long story short, we tried to feed the prince, and he doesn't eat raw meat like we do, so that was sad. All right, second area of the game, or chapter, should I say. Every chapter is divided into separate into different areas, but this is a new chapter here. So we'll have some new mechanics at play. You'll kind of see some of them already. We have new enemies as well. Alright, we gotta keep the prince hand-holded as much ball. Alright, so we got mushrooms. They're a little bit wonky with the physics sometimes for the jumping, but, you know, hopefully nothing crazy happens with them. Those guys aren't too bad to avoid, but, I mean, they can be a bit of a pain. They're a lot easier to dodge than, like, the coons or the birds, though, so. Alright, so this big block that I'm hitting right now, we need to get that across. I'll bring that over there. We need this block as a counterweight, believe it or not, to get the prince across. So we're going to go ahead and put the prince standing there. I'm going to go over here. Hit that over there. It's a counterweight. I gotta keep in mind that I'm heavier than the counterweight, so that would obviously push it back down. And then I'll let us get across like we just did there. Alright, so one of the things about falling is if we land on a mushroom or we don't fall from too high, like the game just explained, we won't die, which is good. We should use that mushroom to jump up, but it's actually faster to go this bottom route and just keep jumping to avoid these sticky webs that slow you down. Alright, pacemaker. Great. That means we're doing pretty good. Alright, so we learn about these little flowers that allow us to, you know, shoot things at the enemies to kill them, but, I mean, we could just skip by that right now. We'll do a bit of that later. There's a couple tricky parts to get through. One of them where I have to navigate a little bit of a section blind. Hoping that area goes well, because it's very hard to see. You might not even see anything on stream, actually, when I get there. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, so I gotta hit this block onto the switch using the flower. Bingo bango. So we got that. I hope the rest of them go pretty well. We missed the cycle here. I think we might have been too early, actually. Usually it takes an extra try or two to get the flower to go and hit that block, but I think we might have gotten it too fast. Alright. I'm a little bit worried that the prince wouldn't have made that landing, because there's this odd time that he bounces off the mushroom and then falls off. And then we sit there and we cry. We have to do that tiny little section again. So anyways, prince down there. Jump up here and do the same thing from this side. Except there's 2 blocks in the way. So we're going to have to hit it a couple times. Oh my god, that wasn't strong enough. No! Come on, flower. There we go. Alright, so again, same thing as the area before. We're just gonna jump by this area here. Rather than use the mushrooms to get around these guys. We'll go through the dangerous webs, no problem. We could just... No. That was bad. I did not mean to jump like that. Prince. I'm like losing his hand. Alright, so the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna stand here. Sorry. I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna tell the prince to go there. What that's gonna do is it's gonna raise me up. And then I'm gonna use that height to get this flower. To hit that block. So I'm gonna raise that platform up to allow us to get across. Alright. So far, so good. Making pretty good pace, because we're already through the whole first chapter. And there's 6 in total, but some of them aren't even that long, really. Like, the last chapter is really short. Well, anyways, come across a abandoned, like, house. There's some goats inside of it. They're starving. The prince thinks there's humans because they were talking and he can't see them, so he wants us to go find food for them. We really like the prince, so we just agree. Nope. Push, 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 push. My god. That did not work the way I was hoping. Okay, well. Back up. I'm supposed to be able to push the block. Did not know that was possible. Alright, well, I learned something. Okay, what's supposed to happen is I'm supposed to get enough momentum to push it like that. There we go. The intended way is for me to, like, move the boxes with the wolf, but, I mean, it's a lot faster to do what I just did. I'm a little sad that it didn't happen the first try, but it's fine. Alright, so I need to set the prince over here. I need to jump up here. I need to use the wolf to hit this block down. We're gonna use that to hit that, and then grab the prince, and then jump up here. Boom, boom. Just like that. That way we make the elevator go back up on the same cycle, which is nice. We're almost done with this chapter. So far, so good. We only had a couple deaths that weren't planned. I mean, we'll probably have a couple more, but I'm hoping not. Just one of the worst things that I found when trying to speedrun this game is if you try to go really, really fast, you actually end up losing way more time because of unfortunate deaths at every, like, a lot more often because of, like, going too early and the cycles are wrong, or an enemy ambushes the prince. Because if you leave them unattended, like, enemies will, if they're nearby, try to get to the prince and hurt him. And obviously we don't want that. Oh, prince, where'd you go? Oh, nope. Oh, well, I got hit. Okay, well, I saved the prince, but I got hit in the process. Alright, thankfully, not really a time loss. Like, I mean, it did lose us a little bit of time, because we have to do this section again. But we're okay. The later sections could lose us much more time, but we'll take our time with those sections. That way we can actually save time there. I had to be very careful with these mushrooms. Oh, like I said, gotta be a little bit careful. Alright, this time we made it up. Alright, so we gotta tell the prince to go across. We're gonna send him up without us. I know that sounds bad, but we'll meet him up there in a second. Use the wolf to get up there. Because we can't bring him through all of that. So the game really wants us to, like, kill all these enemies. And then there's this boar here. The number of times this boar has ambushed and killed me has been far too many. I don't know where the prince was trying to run to, but, you know, he's okay. Alright, so we found the food. And we're happy. We're about to give it to them. And the prince thinks that the humans need it cooked first. So he's going to teach us about fire. And obviously we don't like fire. Monsters don't like fire, right? So anyways, we learn about telling... That's not what I wanted him to do. We learn about telling the prince how to pick up objects. Bring him over, grab the lantern, and light the fire. And then this pretty much concludes Chapter 2 at this point. So the prologue's done, Chapter 1's done, and we're basically finishing up Chapter 2 at this point. Alright, so these next couple chapters could be fairly difficult. It's mostly because there's a lot of stuff to kind of keep track of. And like I said, minor mistakes could cost a death, and a death could cost us a minute. Could cost us less, but most times it's about a minute or more. So we're hoping to, like I said, minimize our deaths going forwards. Sometimes going too fast could be the worst thing that you could do. So anyways, we're supposed to tell the prince to pick up the block and move it, but we're just gonna move it ourselves. If we can get momentum, like I said, a lot of the times it breaks our hand-holding when we get too much momentum. But we want to... get momentum so that we can gain some speed every now and again off, like, moving platforms and stuff like that. So, like, platforms that are moving above us, like that one, like, pretty nifty to, like, be able to run off this platform and then jump and then gain some speed. It's not, like, super crazy or anything, but it could be helpful. Oh, see, like, I had some momentum there myself, but the prince, like, fell behind in there, so I lost this hand. So it's just one of those things where it's just a little bit of a management thing. That was unfortunate timing. He's usually a bit further up. Well, that time he's further down. Okay, whatever. Sometimes... I don't know what to say about that. Like... Sometimes the cycles are just off. It's hard to know. The only way to get, like, a perfect cycle on the start would be to, like, take a death. But, I mean, if you're going fast, then that would be a bad thing, right? Yeah, reloading and stuff like that would also fix the cycle as well. Alright, so the trick with this thing is we want to get this block here. We're going to tell the prince to grab it, because we can't transform and hit the block out of there. So we're going to get him to Pick it up, and now he's gonna drop it. I'm gonna transform to the wolf. I'm gonna hit it onto the button below there. Now it'll let us across, just like that. Jump off this mushroom. Not too much left of this area. Alright, so now we're in chapter 3. Alright, so this place has a lot of riddles and puzzles, and it's got some wonky teleporting. We got another achievement, Never Let Go, because we're awesome at holding hands. Anyways, bit of a spooky witch's garden forest area. It's actually the witch's garden. But it's a little spooky and stuff. There's ghosties and... Okay, that's... I need him to go that way. So I need him to kind of be in the center of that pit. He's going to turn into a platform. And we're going to use him to get across. Oh, that was unfortunate. Not that I could do but that. The cycle was just off. That was very unfortunate. And I can't do anything about that because I need him to come through with me. Alright. Let's try this again. Alright. So what was supposed to happen is they weren't supposed to be there, so I could bring the prince over and, you know, get him up off that platform. Alright, so we have a riddle here. It's some simple math, but my brain didn't understand that after the first, couple hours, so... But once you know the answer, it's always the same. But, I mean, I wasn't the brightest cookie the first time through this game, and as obvious as the answer should have been, I was thinking way more complicated for some reason. Alright. So, first section of chapter 3 done. We got a nice little moment here to sit down with the prince and have a good smile. Nice little weary sunset in the background there. So way back when we first started the game, remember there was the singing wolf, and then the prince tried to come up and see the wolf. Well, the prince thinks because the voice he heard is us right now, because we were the wolf. But he can't see us, so he just thinks we're a cute, adorable princess, because that's what we told him. But we're really sad, deep inside. We want to tell him the truth, but we just can't. There's a lot of other context and stuff that I'm skipping over with story stuff, because honestly, you should just play the game and enjoy the music and enjoy the story. It's very heartfelt, it's a very good time, and I don't know what's not to like about a game where you get to hold an adorable prince's hand all the way through. This game is entirely hand-drawn artwork, too, so it's very wholesome. It's a very great storybook-esque, like, fairy tale experience. So there's another riddle here, but we know the answer to this as well. It's actually the simplest one in here that I got immediately when I was first playing through this game. So the camera panned over, and I messed it up. Alright. I was hoping to save a few seconds there. So, the camera pans, but I still have control. So I was hoping I was close enough to Prince's hand so I could grab him and drag him over just as the camera was about to pan back. Unfortunately, he was a little too far out of the way, and that didn't happen, so I apologize. We did not save a few measly seconds there. So we're gonna grab that lantern, light that lantern, and then we're gonna go through this portal as fast as we can. We need this lantern so that we can get by these enemies so that they don't hurt the prince. Now, you might have noticed there was some colored, like things on the trees. Those are lanterns. We're supposed to count them for a puzzle coming up. And, yeah. If you don't remember all of them, then good luck figuring out the answer to the puzzle. You'll have to go back and count them all, which I've done hours worth of trying to do successfully. Princess reminds you of Bowsette. Well, I mean, there is a bit of a Bowsette kind of vibe to her. I mean, she is a wolf without the crown, right? Alright, so there's an optional puzzle right below there. We're not going to do it because it's very long and it's hard. I know the answer to it, but we're not going to do it because it costs time. In the interest of time, we're going to continue. There is nothing but a flower at the end of doing all that, so we get to give the prince a flower. That is our reward for doing a very complicated puzzle. But don't worry, we have more flowers that we can give the prince later. No biggie. Alright, so now we're able to give him verbal commands, so we don't have to be holding his hand to tell him what to do now. So I can just drop him there and then go, hey, can you pick up that? And you go, yeah, sure. Okay. And, yeah, now we can go. I just did that as an example. But, honestly, I would have just told him while I was holding my hand to do that. Now, it's impossible for me to try to get on that elevator as it goes down the same moment it lights, because it's just a long drop and death. And that would be bad. So now we're going to drop that lantern here, so that stays open. Don't know why I did that. Alright, so now we gotta get another lantern. So, we're gonna make the prince fall down here. Onto this mushroom. I'm sorry about that, prince. I need to be as careful as I can not to have any deaths at this point going forward, because this is where deaths start costing more time. The early deaths, not too bad. Later deaths cost way more time. Alright, so he's going to pick that up, and then he's going to go all the way through there. That's going to teleport him above us. And we can head back with the lantern. But now we got to light it. Alright, so a lot of enemies here. We're going to take care of them really quick. Gotta protect our prince. Okay, well, alright, well, the toad's stuck. He can just stay there. He's not bothering us anymore. He gets to live. Alright, so we gotta navigate ourselves through here. Grab that fire. For the most part, a lot of the puzzles can be fairly straightforward and simple. And they are, but half the fun with this game is the exploration, the wonderful music, and the artwork. So we're gonna tell... Oops. That was my bad. That would have been really, really bad if he had actually fallen. Alright, so we gotta light those two lanterns. Now, the lantern that he's holding can run out, which I'm hoping is not the case when I'm doing this. little bit. No, don't. I was hoping he wouldn't fall onto there, but it's fine. As long as he didn't actually fall, we're good. Alright, so we made it through there. Only a little bit more left to do in this area. Alright, so the enemies there that you saw, the raccoons, we're staying away from them because the lantern's lit. So, like I said, monsters are kind of scared of the fire. That boar, however, not. So that's why I was concerned about the boar, because it was going to charge at us and kill the prince, so we fixed that. Alright, so now we have to give the prince a flower, so we're going to give him this beautiful red flower. And that's going to end this portion of the game. But we tried to give it to him as our wolf form. But we kind of chicken out. Alright, so, alright. Chapter 4, the cave. So this section's got a lot of dark areas in it. There's one section that we'll have to do entirely blind, and there's also these crows. They really don't like the prince. They are annoying, and they have tracking. So, not so easy to avoid these enemies, so we're actually just going to kill them to be safe along the way. When we need to. Because messing around with those enemies is not good. Alright, so we need a lantern here. I'm going to leave the prince here in the light, and we're going to go over here and deal with these crows. Alright, we took care of those. I can go ahead and get the prince. We're also going to learn about a couple new mechanics in this chapter as well. So we're going to grab that, and we're going to head back this way. So we need to light it. And in dark areas, the lit lantern provides us a light source so we can see. So not only does it light torches, provides a light source. I don't know if it's possible to make it up on that elevator in the same cycle you activate the lantern, but it goes up and down fast enough. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. So we need to tell the prince to go across here, because as soon as we touch the light, we're going to transform. And we can't hold the prince's hand through that. So that's another new mechanic that we just learned right there. So the moonlight rays prevent us from holding his hand and force us to transform. So a little tiny cutscene here. Alright, well, it's good that the prince is safe, because, you know, that was a bit of a fall, but he's okay, and that's all that matters. Alright, so we learn about another thing here, which is these, I don't remember actually what they're called, but they throw you, and they could kill you by throwing you, too. So we gotta be a little careful with them. But they yeet us. Trying to wait for the right moment to get... oh, well, the prince is dead, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna wait. So, I need to run into him when he's facing the right direction. It's... thankfully, the checkpoints are right here, but it's annoying that that's the case for this. Because I wish there was an easier way to just go fast. I don't know why I didn't get up there, but okay. Feel like that was a robbery. I'll wait a little bit longer then. Man, it's so hard to get on. Oh. Why? Why did you do that? This is not the part that should be stopping me. I don't know why. He's, like, not on the right cycle at all. He didn't throw the prince. Whatever, this'll work. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, that's not how that's supposed to be done, but sure. A little scared about that crow up there. No, you don't. Yeah, I might have hit the edge of the platform. I'm guessing that's what stopped the momentum, which is unfortunate. Again, like, going too fast in this game could be more harmful than helpful, which is sad, but, I mean, it's the way it works. So sometimes patience can be better. Alright, so for this little section, we gotta get the prince to stay there. We gotta go down here. We're gonna transform to the wolf so we can make this jump. There we go. Yeah, sometimes you gotta go slow to go fast. So we're gonna raise the platforms from above and navigate them across. Oh, that was not good timing on that. Alright. That was unfortunate. I didn't get him onto the mushrooms with me at the same time. Alright, so far so good. I mean, we had a few minor little shenanigans happen. Alright, we gotta kill this guy because he always kills the prince before I get to the exit. And that would be a shame. So in this chapter, there is a planned death, so that we can skip doing something to hopefully save a few seconds, but that'll honestly depend on how lucky I get with the blind section. I had to make sure there was no boar there, because I'm really, really scared I forget where one of the boars are. But I don't think it's this section. Oh yeah, I think I just need to move this block. Alright, so we're gonna move this block over. It's gonna activate this platform. Still holding hands. Alright, so going up that platform is useless. It just lets us see that we have to hit this block up here using those folks. So now you can just kind of sit here and chill for about a minute or two, maybe take a drink while they throw that block up there so we can get across with the prince. And a platform will fall down from above. So we're going to make sure we're holding his hand. so happy when we're holding hands, but so sad when we're not. So the prince got up, but I didn't. I don't. Ooh. I don't know where to begin to explain the game with that one. That messed up the checkpoint too, because the checkpoint's right after that, so unfortunately I have to do this whole thing again. That's an unfortunate one, because that actually does cost me at least a minute. Or around there anyways. Because I gotta wait for this thing to go all the way up. Thankfully, once we get through this section, the next few chapters are really short. Alright, that was much better. If you're ever unsure of, like, a fall or something like that with the prince and him surviving it, it's better to have him fall down first, because if there is a mushroom directly below, he's pretty much guaranteed to land on it. Alright, so now that we're at this little cutscene section here, we meet some moles. That's about halfway, no, a little bit more than halfway through the stage. There's only like one major area left for this chapter. But yeah, these are moles. They're hungry. They can't see, so they didn't know they were about to eat the prince. So we, well, the prince offers for us to go get some flowers for them. So we're gonna go pick some flowers for the moles. I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were birds at first, but they are definitely moles. Alrighty, so this is the part... hopefully we don't take any inconvenient deaths on. I swear, they're moles. Prince, why didn't you jump with me? Where did you go? Okay, up again. No, why? Where? Prince, jump. Perfect. Okay. All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Good boy. Jesus. He doesn't even know where he's going. Oh. Oh, well, that... You're not supposed to be right there. Okay, hopefully that fixes where he is. That crow is not supposed to be that close to that lantern or lit torch. It's supposed to be further away. Because I was supposed to have enough time to transform. Alright, so this is the section where we actually have to navigate it blind in a moment. There's 2 pitfalls. One of them will kill us, and one of them will make us fall all the way back down here. So we're hoping that practice pays off. Even if I have to take it slow, I'd rather do it. Rather do it a little slow and not have to redo this section. Because we have to redo all of this section, unfortunately. Oh my god. Prince, just come over here. I gotta wait for this bird to come back. Alright, so we gotta grab that. We're navigating this blind. I have to get a certain distance here. Alright, we made it. Perfect. Alright, so now we can just kill ourselves. Because there's a checkpoint there. And the lantern that we didn't pick up will actually spawn here, and we need that because we need to open the door to get out of here. So we didn't fall, so this actually saves us some time, which is nice. Because if we actually like fell down and had to restart a whole section, then this doesn't save us any time. But now you can drop it. And then we can get through here. Alright, so we're going to bring the prince over here. Transform into the wolf. We got to go get him another lantern. So in order to do that, I have to lower these platforms to get the thing across. And I failed it. Oh, you got it across. Okay. I wasn't sure if we were going to get across in 1 or 2, but we got across in 2. Not a big deal. Prince, come closer. Alright, so he's got that. We can light that. Light that. Jump. Alright, made it. Up we go. Now we just gotta get by these. Do myself a favor and take care of those right now so that we don't have to jump, please. Alright. I just really don't want to deal with those guys. Because, like I said, they usually will kill me on this exit here. So, better be safe than sorry. Alright, so got the flowers for the moles. Pretty much done this chapter. Only a couple more to go. But anytime you see like a large change in like a scenery, you're basically on a new chapter of the game. But now the moles are happy. Now we give the prince another flower. This is just one of the few scripted ones. But unfortunately, this is where all of the happiness starts to go bad. Prince starts remembering how he went blind, because when we handed him the flower, the moonlight struck our hand, and he felt the touch of the wolf's hand. So now he's all freaked out. Prince is kind of mad at us at this point, and then he lets go. So now the prince is falling. He's gonna die. I'm sorry. We couldn't save the prince. Okay, I lied. We're gonna go look for the prince. He fell somewhere deeper in the forest. But now the forest is on fire. Because when he fell, that lantern that he was holding, it really did some damage. Alright, so this is the last major chapter of the game. Like, long chapter, I should say. It's not that long. I forgot to jump. Yeah, it's honestly not that long compared to all the other ones, but I mean, it's a lot. Like, compared to the actual last chapter, this is not too long at all. Alright, so I need to be a werewolf to make sure I make that fall jump. Because if I jump with the mushrooms, I'm just dead anyways. So I need to be a werewolf to do that. Alright, so we don't have the prince to guide through here, so technically this section goes by, like I said, faster because we don't have the prince right now. But there's some annoyances like these guys who will throw the block away from me. I need this block to get over there. And I'm being trolled right now. Yeah, throw it that way. Yep, help me out. Good job. I think that's the first time they've helped me out with that. Yeah, so that'll let us get down here. I gotta use these guys to get up here, and this is a fairly annoying part. But thankfully, a little bit wonky is the wolf, but it works. Yes, there's coons there. That's why I was a little scared at first, but I was okay. Alright, so we gotta raise these platforms up so we can get across here. We gotta transform to human. We gotta get through all of this. There's a lot of enemies in here. Everybody's running from the fire. I have to hit this guy when he comes back. Because he's gonna kill me otherwise. Alright, he's up high enough that he's not in the way. Alright, so there's some boars. It's gonna stay here in the safe spot until they all go by. Alright, made it through. So far, so good. Alright, we need to go human. I need to wait for this guy to go there. This part's a little tricky because I want to be... Okay. We're okay. That's good. We made it. I missed the mushroom. Awesome. I think we got a checkpoint though, so it's fine. Yep. It's very easy to miss the checkpoints. Or the mushrooms sometimes when you have too much momentum. Alright, so the trick with getting by this quickly and not dying to the boar is by jumping. So we will just spam the jump button so we can go fast. Because the sticky webs are sticky. And then for this section, we need to get a block all the way over there to activate that platform to get out of this level. Or at least this area in particular. So we're gonna hit this block up here. Hopefully it cooperates. Alright. We got it up there. I almost screwed it up. I would have been really sad if I had to go back and get that block. Alright, there we go. Made it up. We found the prince. So he's hiding underneath burning tree. We're gonna break the tree. Free the prince. Alright, so remember the witch from earlier in the game? Well, she's kind of mad that we burned her forest. So the prince's plan is we're gonna go and apologize. And hopefully she's okay. So, for the next tiny bit here, well, I wouldn't say tiny, but for the next couple sections of this chapter, we have to guide the prince to go see the witch. So this is technically where I would say the hardest part of the game is this area in particular, or these two areas in particular coming up because of the navigating of the prince. Because these are where they kind of throw all of the stuff that we've learned from all the puzzles, and, you know, they throw all sorts of enemies at you and kind of make sure that you know everything. So it gives you a lot more to think about and do in this section. Alright, so fall damage kills us in human form, but not as a wolf, so we'll use that to our advantage to get down here and bring the prince down to us. Alright. Alright, so we have to hit both these buttons with the flower. So we're playing a little bit of Plinko. It's RNG. It's one of the few things that's 100% RNG in this game. So we're just hoping we're okay at Plinko. Alright. So one's down. So we bring him off the button, hit it again, and hope that we get it there. Nope. It's gonna be one of those days. Not having good luck on Plinko right now. Because I don't have Bob Barker, like, shedding in my ear. Like, you got it! Alright, there we go. Alright, so yeah, we made it by that. Jump on the mushroom here. Prince to jump up with us, make sure that we're not dragging him too far in. Okay, so we're gonna drag him to the edge there. We need to transform as the wolf to get across. So we do that so we can send this platform back. So we can go grab him and bring him over with us. So, there is 2 sections coming up that'll be basically auto-scroller-esque. And if I happen to mess up on them, I think those are the parts really that you lose the most time on. Honestly, they are. You could lose several minutes or more on those sections alone. So, generally hasn't been too bad getting through those right so far lately, but things can change. First platform's out of the way. So make sure that we take our time with these mushrooms, because if we have to, like, if we die at all with the prince, then, I mean, there's pretty lengthy sections to go back through, really. We have to kill that coon, because when we get the prince to get over where we just came up, unfortunately likely that the coon will actually get him. Yeah, I like how much holding hands is super important in this game. I love how much holding hands matters. Alright, so now that we got the prince up there, we can go back and go get him. The thing blowing air, I don't know what to really call them. Maybe they're pigs. I don't know. I don't know what you would call them, but I mean, they blow air. Oh yeah, transform. I don't know why I was telling him to pick up a block. Anyways, Prince is gonna get chucked around a little bit. We need him to land up here. Prince? Prince, come on. There we go. A little bit RNG there. Alright, so that's an optional flower. We're going to skip that in the interest of time. So this is the last auto-scroller platform before the last chapter. We're gonna look over to the screen like this, which is gonna spawn that guy early so that he falls off to his death. So we don't have to worry about him touching the prince. And then we're gonna do that again with the next one that shows up as well, which is why I'm standing exactly where I am. Because those particular enemies spawn as soon as they come within screen view. So, I'm sorry, Frog, but jump off to your death. Alright, so we're not done with this section yet, so this platform's still going. This is the longer of the two auto-scroll sections, which is the unfortunate bit. But we may have made it past the worst part so far. This guy down below us, we can usually ignore him as long as we're above him. But if he comes into line of sight with us, then he'll chase us down. So, be absolute safe here. We're just going to tell the prince to fall off on his own. Or else he'll miss the mushrooms if we drag him off, usually. Like I said, the physics in this game could be a little wonky sometimes. Especially with momentum. So anyways, that chapter's done. We have one final chapter to go. It's technically a boss fight. So, yeah. So, I mean, if things go well, we could be done in under 10 minutes. So there should be, less than 10 minutes now on the run. Things have been going pretty smooth, surprisingly. A lot could go wrong in this run. Like I said, deaths are costly, and we've died very few times, and I'm super proud of that so far. But this is where that could change. Alright, so, in order to quell the witch, we need to smack her in the head 3 times. I missed the timing on that. That was unfortunate. So we're just going to take our time then. I will wait. I really like the music for this section too. It's really, really good. Alright, so bring the prince there. Transform to wolf here. Jump up here. Alright, so this section, if I kind of mess it up, it could go bad. So we're hoping that we do this right. So the prince is on an a platform. It's going to keep moving. We have to kill the enemies and get ourselves in him across. And if something ever goes slightly wrong, I could have to restart this entire bit right here. So we're hoping that's not the case. Like I said, this is where the last 2 chapters is basically where you lose the most time. And this being the last section of the game, I have to make sure. I thought he died. Okay. It's fine. Totally fine. Next time I'll just kill him sooner. It's okay, we didn't lose as much time as we could have. If it happened later. Oh, what? How? He wasn't even near him. I got robbed. Just gonna have him stand right there. Alright, so we've definitely lost a minute on this section so far. We got down here sooner this time. Honestly, a lot of the time that I'm dying, it's not necessarily all human error. It's definitely a lot to do with cycles as well. Alright. Could be worse. So far, we're still doing okay. That was close. That one comes out so quickly, it's very, very scary. Alright, so I'm gonna tell the prince to go there. I'm gonna transform. Boom. Okay, first hit. Alright, we gotta do that 2 more times. So now she's mad, she's gonna fling us back. We're gonna have to get back to her again. Kind of switches up the level a little bit. Alright, so now we learned that the spikes here will kill enemies. I mean, we've already learned they kill us. So now we have to use the spike here to kill these boars to make it safe to get up there. I have to kill quite a few of these boars like this before it's safe. Because remember, I have to bring the prince up there. If it was just me going up there as a wolf, it would have been fine, but... Oh, that was too soon. Oh, come on. Why? It's... Oh my god, the delay on that is so ridiculous. Okay. I mean, at least this is not the worst section to have that happen. I'm hoping the cycles will be better for them because, like, that was not very good. Okay, well, we got the one that was annoying last time. Alright, now we just gotta deal with these ones. What? Okay. Alright, that should be enough of them killed. Prince. Yeah, that was a little monk-ass. But we're fine now. Alright, so this section is not that bad at all, really. We got through the harder part of this area, now we get to do something that looks dangerous. Like, what I'm about to do is gonna look dangerous, but I assure you, it's not that bad. Nope. No, don't do that. Pick up the block, please. Thank you. Alright. I know that looked dangerous, because they have hitboxes, they could kill me. But I swear, it's 100% okay. Alright, so we need the platform to go down. I need him to move. Him to stop. Me to transform. Bop number 2. Okay. Alright, if things go right, I mean, this isn't gonna necessarily be a PB for me, but it'll definitely finish in the next 5 minutes. This last section hopefully goes well. We don't have to do any restarts. Be done in less than 5, so I'm happy about that. Alright, so, first things first, we gotta get the wolf, or, the prince moving with us. Because now we have the witch is gonna be summoning the spikes on him. That was dangerous. Okay. So let's us through. He's gonna go through. Alright, so now we gotta hit plant thing, kill more dudes. We gotta clear off all of these enemies. Alright. I believe that is all of them. Alright, so made it through that. Guide the prince along the platforms here. There we go. Come on, prince. Let's go. We got a witch to quiet down. Alright, made it. That was a lot better than usually how that goes. A lot of the time he ends up getting... I have to wait for him to kind of inch himself off the platform. Okay, so for this part here, we can't transform back into wolf. The witch has taken away that power now for the rest of this fight. So now we have to guide the prince using our human form. And then we're gonna do a little bit of a trick here. We're gonna make him fall into the portal. like that. Alright, so whoever's on timer, get ready for the timer, because the witch's head's right there. All I have to do is get up there and hit her in the head. So, we have to make sure the prince doesn't get hit, and make sure we don't get hit, because the witch is going to be alternating who she's attacking. And I need to use her spikes to break the barricades so I can get up to where the prince is. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that wasn't going to hit the prince. And thankfully, we're all good. Alright, cool. Alright, time should be coming up in 3, 2, 1... Time! That's the end of the run. So I got a 1:24:09? Almost a 20... yeah. Not bad. Something like that. I'm not sure what the stream got, but that's what we have. That's like the end. That was pretty solid. I mean, we died half a dozen times. Unplanned. I think I died on purpose twice, and that was it. So, other than that, not too bad. Anyways, the witch, you know, we're apologizing to witch. She's like, okay, I've calmed down. I mean, I'll listen to you. You know, thanks to the GGs as well. But it's a fun game. Like, you could definitely get a really nice, solid run. With fewer deaths, obviously. Because like I said, deaths do cost the most amount of time in this run. But yeah, like a sub 130 run is pretty not bad, honestly, for in on average there, especially with some mistakes in a marathon. But again, going too fast can cost you more time than it helps, so I mean, I was definitely guilty of that. So I'm kind of trying to skip through this a little bit because there's a really awesome song on the way out, and well, we're getting to that point to swap on over to the next run. I'm sure they're getting the next run set up at this point. Just want to say, I hope you all enjoyed this adorable game and all the hand-holding. We're having our nice little farewell goodbyes with the prince and the princess. And we have this awesome song to go out on. And there is post-credit cutscene, but we don't get to see that. But at this point, I'll let them take me away. I hope you enjoyed the run. My name is Mash. You can follow me on twitch.tv/EZ0Mash. Other than that, I will see you next time. Have a good night. Don't worry, Frosty. I'll hold your hand next time.
Thank you very much, Mash. We'll be getting the next one started right away. Okay, I'll introduce you guys, and then you'll be good to go. Hello, everyone. So yeah, we are ready with the next run. We're gonna get Hades started right away with BZ Archer. So thank you very much, and take it away.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm BZ, she and they pronouns. I have Animated Elf with me doing commentary. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be doing what's called a 3-weapon run, which is where we're gonna run the game and from the start to the final boss 3 times with 3 different infernal weapons. But first things first, because this is a run that could potentially go on the leaderboard if I PB, we gotta die. I am using what's called the Community Mod Pack. It is some stuff that streamlines a few things in the RNG and cuts some of the time sink areas that can randomly help make it a little better for marathon runs and attempts for world records and stuff like that. Giving you a look at my mirror here. This is basically the setup I'm going to be using for most of these runs. I might actually go God's Pride for this one. And do we want to mention the incentive?
Yeah. So the incentive for this run is, if you donate $10, we pet the dog.
As many times as you donate, I will happily pet the dog. He's a good
Yes.
boy. He deserves this. So the weapon I'm starting with is the sword, Stygius, in its aspect of Nemesis. The reason I'm using this is it boosts our crit chances considerably. So if we go for a crit damage build, we should be able to stack damage really fast on a lot of enemies, especially bosses. Pact of Punishment, we're using extreme measures too because it makes one particular boss fight a lot faster. Forced overtime, obviously the faster enemies show up, the faster we get rid of them. And tight deadline will avoid rooms like the Tartarus locked in rooms where you're forced to use to stay in a room for a minute of real time. I think that's everything. Did I miss anything else?
No, that's why we do it.
All right. Time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
This one's for you, Mother.